Hello everyone, my bullet journal. This time our spreads for February. February. Um and let's start with our sticker. Boom! We got this lovely sticker that says I came, I saw, it got awkward. I left. I thought that was appropriate. It is February is the time of awkwardness, the month of love. We're just gonna throw that right there. Boom, life motto. Yeah, it got awkward and I left. But welcome. I hope you enjoy this. Let me get comfortable. And let's dive into February's theme. So, let's quickly run through January. Our lovely January spread with our cover page. This is now is the time. In our color scheme of red, pink, and light gray. We've got our calendar. I threw some washi tape in here. That was actually not washi tape. It's actually the edges of the sticker we used on the cover. And as you can see, things are going. My productivity tracker is working. My calendar has lots of information on it. And there's stuff in my income section. I did realize that I forgot to leave a section for tracking my YouTube stats, which I threw in down here. But I remember to do a separate tracker in my next spread for February. And then that's basically the setup. And then we have our weekly spreads with the weekly to-do calendar at the bottom. And then I threw in all my lovely journaling in the color pink for the month with some red, to separate each day, playing with how I do it. And that is how we are so far. The month is still going because, we're not done with February. We're not done with January yet. So let's get in here. Here's the end of February. Here's our cover page for February. It says, don't just exist, live. We've got a lovely mountain sketch. So let's get in there. First, we're going to talk about the colors we're going to use this month. This month's color scheme is going to start with a light blue from my highlighter. This is a big bright liner. And then light purple, almost that periwinkle color, from Tombow in 603. So if you want that, that's a lovely light periwinkle. And then a medium gray in N55. And then my journaling will be in this lovely blue gel pen, which I got from the dollar store and can't wait to use up. And then we have all of our fine liners from Micron, Sigma Micron 02, 05, and 08. So we're going to get started. And I'm just doing, as always, simple text, just cursive, just fancy. We're going to go ahead and sketch this in and enjoy the music. Alright, there we go. Nice and simple, plain and minimalist. I debated adding some color to the wordage, but I think it looks fine the way it is. I went ahead and colored my corner for my tab, and then we're going to go ahead into the actual setup. And this month is a continuing theme of mountains and moons. Mostly mountains, occasionally moons. Basic same setup as before. We have our title, our calendar, YouTube stats are going here. I have a section for incomes, and then my productivity tracker. So let's go ahead and get filling this in. We'll start with our number 8 and go ahead and write in the month. Just using some basic script, my own personal handwriting, nothing fancy. I hit a bump in there. Not sure what it was or is. Maybe there was a crumb on the page and I didn't realize it, but that's okay. It didn't affect things too much. Gonna write the year because still, you know, gotta remember what year it is because time these days travels weirdly. Alright, gonna work on the calendar, and once again, enjoy the music, and I will talk to you soon. Okay, so I hope everybody is doing well and enjoying the new year so far. We're gonna go ahead and chat a little bit. I decided to do mountains this month because I wanted something different. I don't know. Honestly, it's just sort of an intuitive thing. It just what came to mind. I had other ideas. I went back and forth, like doing hearts, doing butterflies. I had an idea about doing flowers based off of a tea tag. And I was like, you know, I don't know. It's intuitive, I guess. Do what feels right. So I wanted to do mountains this month. I'm just going to write in the dates. I decided I'm just going to do it in the number 5 instead of going to the number 2. The number 2 is a little bit small and finicky. I'm afraid I'm going to break it, actually. I don't know. That's the truth. And if you're afraid about smudging numbers or letters or lines, always start in the direction that's opposite of your hand. So I'm left-handed, so I'm starting to the right and I'm just working my way to the left. And because I already have everything pre-planned out in pencil, I just have to go back in with the pen and make it look a little neater, because when I do it in pencil, it's kind of sloppy. I mean, to be honest, it's really sloppy. So yeah, just going in neatly. That's how I can do all these dates without having to stop and think, what date am I on? In case you're wondering. And as you can see down here at the bottom, I didn't do a completely square calendar like I did last month because I wanted to have a space to work in that YouTube tracker. And then up here along the top, I just have some jagged, really quickly sketched in mountains. And that's all it is for mountains. You don't have to be really precise. It's just jagged lines. If you sit down with a great big cup of coffee, or after drinking the great big cup of coffee, and just make some, you know, jagged, wiggly, pointy things, you'll be fine. They don't have to be perfectly straight. They can be at different angles. Yeah, it doesn't matter. They don't have to be perfect. Mountains in real life are not perfect. They are far from anything. I mean, when was the last time you saw a perfectly smooth, straight mountain? Never, right? So down here in this little box, I got my title. And we're gonna switch pens. We're gonna go down to that number 2 now and get in some fine details and do this title. Got YouTube tracker, well, YouTube stats. And all of you who are new here, thank you for joining my, subscribing to the channel. I do appreciate you very much. all the new joiners, all the new subscribers. Thank you very much. And if you subscribed for makeup content and you're like, why is she doing bullet journaling? Because I do bullet journaling too. And if you joined for bullet journaling and you're like, why does she do all these other videos for makeup panning and stuff? Because I do makeup and panning stuff too. I just do it all. I do it all. I do it all. Okay, I can't sing that too much because I'll get copyright. Alright, and just shading these mountains in with a simple lines. So just kind of go from the peak and then slightly off center down the side and then fill that in, and voila. And then here I have actually the tracker is sideways. I tried to do it vertically, but I wasn't happy. There wasn't quite enough room, so I was like, you know, we're just gonna do it this way. The calendar goes this way, it's fine. I'm thinking in the future I might do a 2-page calendar spread, but we'll see. I haven't decided yet. I kind of like this setup, but I'm open to new ideas. And then we're gonna have a place for tracking the views at the beginning of the month and the end of the month, how many hours were watched, and how many subscribers I got, because, you know, that's always fun to know. And so a space to put it here at the beginning and a space at the end. And then we can come in and give a little color. I think this will just give it a little underline. And then just like we did on the front cover page, just going to do a quick outline, really roughly, of the mountains. Give them a little definition, a little pop of color. Don't have to. You could absolutely leave this completely just blank. And then this mountain goes a little bit over the side. It's just a little bit of color popping in there, and I think we'll go across here with the blue. I chose the blue highlighter versus the Tombow because I don't have a very light blue Tombow. And the lightest blue Tombow I have is just about the same shade as this highlighter, but a little bit darker. And then I think for YouTube stats, we're just going to give it some gray. Just help it pop out a little bit. I need to get a white gel pen because all my white pens dried up and don't like me. Alright, we're going to go in. So for the titles on my income and productivity, I went a little fancy and did a little something extra. So I'm going to go ahead and line those in with my 05 because I don't want the lines too thick to mess up the details. So let me work on this and I will be right back. Okay, as you can see, I kind of did a, you know, a little fancier. Something a little fancier. And then we're going to go ahead and separate it with a double line. And I find these long lines, if I can move my whole arm, so if you get your hand in one position and move your whole arm in one stroke, I find that helps a lot with making those lines smooth easily. And then once again, just writing in the different categories and putting the titles in a box. And go in with my O2. And since productivity was such a big word, I decided to make the tracker smaller. Okay. And then we'll fill in a calendar. So that is my main spread there. And then we get into my weeklies. Really simple journal setup. Don't do a lot of extras. So let me lay this out and then we'll talk about what I'm doing on my weekly spread. Okay, so here's my weekly spread. I decided to put a large mountain in the middle because if we look at my January journaling, I end up with some space left over and I'm not using all the space I needed. So I figure I would put in some more decorative items. I also put some mountains at the top to help tie up the title. And then instead of doing one long strip of days for my to-do boxes, which are quite small because I usually just put in major tasks or events, I've decided to space them out and give them a little more room. This is only 5 days because the first day of the month starts on a Tuesday and I do my calendars Sunday through Saturday. So if this had been a regular, I would have continued with more on the other side, probably on the far side of the page. I didn't do this corner. Then I decided to add the gray bands at the top and the bottom here. On the top and the bottom just to help enclose the page because it was feeling very open. I did that a little bit over here in the January spread. I just feel it helps define the space a little bit more. But that is how that is working out, and then I will continue to do my journaling as I usually do. And that's my setup for February. So going back, we have my title, my quote for the month, don't just exist, live. Going back to my word of the year, which is live. And then our theme of purple mountains and blue moons. And then a nice cool calendar, simple, easy to take care of, easy, you know. And then just throw in some mountains here and there where I have room, my income, my productivity tracker, and my weekly spreads. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of my content, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you get notified every time I upload a video. And until I see you in my next one, take care. Bye!